We reached the beach near midday, when clouds had cleared away. Your footprints met the water, then vanished with the spray. A yellow scarf moved lightly against your summer dress. You turned to see me following and waited near the steps. The shoreline stretched before us, with room enough to breathe. Footprints near the tide, appearing one by one. We walked where foam was shining beneath the open sun. You called me through the sea wind. I heard you clear and bright. The water reached our ankles, then slipped away from sight. Vendor rang a small bell beside the bathing stand. We bought a folded paper cone and shared the sugared almonds. The wooden pier cast shadows across the cooling shore. You brushed the sand from both my shoes, started walking on. The afternoon grew deeper, the breeze became more mild. Footprints near the tide, appearing one by one. We walked where foam was shining beneath the lowering sun. The sea wind carried laughter beyond the curving bay. Our steps were gone by evening, the feeling chose to stay. When waves return across the sand, I see us walking there. I see us walking there. We left our sandals by the wall and stepped onto the cooler sand. The water moved around our feet while you walked close beside me. A row of houses faced the cove, with linen shades above the doors. You pointed toward a distant boat then smiled before it turned away. The tide moved near the seawall and carried every sound along. Sandals by the seawall, waiting where we left them. The afternoon moved easily between the shore and town. Your hand brushed near my shoulder as we followed the water, and all the day grew richer without becoming loud. We stopped beneath a canvas roof and shared a glass of citrus water. A fishing net lay near the steps with silver drops along the cord. You gathered both our sandals and shook the sand onto the stones. We took the path above the cove as evening reached the lower roofs. Sandals by the seawall, resting in your hands. The shoreline curved behind us as the town drew close again. Your pace stayed near my shoulder through the turning lanes, and all that coastal color came walking home with us. When waves move near a seawall, I hear our footsteps once again. Our footsteps once again. Postcards stand beside the marina, turn slowly in the coastal air, and every painted little harbor seemed brighter than the town behind us. You chose a card with yellow houses and wrote the date along the edge, then held it up against the water to see which shade of blue came closer. The boats moved past the railing and every bell rang clear. Postcards by the marina carried color through the day, with rooftops near the water and white boats in the bay. The back and left the rest for later. while sunlight crossed the tables and laughter filled the air. A waiter cleared the glasses as shadows moved beneath the awning, and someone tuned a small guitar near the steps beside the key. You placed the postcard in your bag between a map and folded paper, then took my arm as evening colors settled softly on the boats. Postcards by the Marina held the colors of that day, with rooftops near the water and white boats in the bay. Never saw what line you wrote or where you meant to send it, but every coastal afternoon brings that little card to mind. When postcard racks begin to turn, I see your handwriting again. Your handwriting again. Jetty stretched into the morning, where the fishing boats lay near. You walked beside the wooden railing, with the breeze around your hair. The harbor slowly brightened, and the bells began to ring. Morning along the jetty carried us toward the day, with sunlight on the water and laughter from the quay. We watched the boats awaken and ropes begin to sway, while all the open color kept drawing us away. The cafe raised its striped awning as the first cups met the tables. You turned and smiled across the railing when a ferry left the bay. The town came fully into view, and every roof began to glow. When distant harbor bells return, I hear that morning song, that easy morning song. The lending room beside the beach was cool beneath the tiled roof, and rows of faded novels carried names we hardly knew. You chose a book with ocean maps pressed loosely through the pages, then wrote your name inside the card and dated it in June. A borrowed book beside the sea lay open on your knees, while salt moved through the reading room and stirred the index leaves. Read one passage twice to me, then marked the place with thread, and every word grew calmer in the rhythm of your voice. We carried it beyond the steps and found a bench above the dunes, where grass leaned toward the shoreline under clouds the color of cream. You closed the cover near the end and saved the final chapter, then said a story needed room to travel home with us. Beside the sea returned before the month was over, but one blue thread remained with me between the pages of another. I never learned the ending of the voyage drawn inside, but often hear your reading voice when coastal pages turn, when paper moves beneath the breeze. I see that book across your knees. Across your knees. Coral steps were warm beneath us when we came down toward the sea. and fishing nets beside the houses move gently in the breeze. You carried bread inside a basket with a bottle wrapped in cloth, then found a place above the water where the stone was smooth and broad. The boats moved past below us and voices crossed the cove. Coral steps beside the sea held the afternoon around us, with bread between our hands and salt upon the air. You leaned against my shoulder as the harbor moved below, and every passing ripple gave the day an easy flow. A woman closed the shutters on the house above the lane, while someone carried empty baskets past the boats and up the stairs. You saved a piece of bread for later and wrapped it in the cloth, then watched the coastal shadows stretch across the lower wall. The air became much cooler and bells rang from the town. Coral steps beside the sea held the evening close around us, with bread inside the basket and salt upon our clothes. We climbed the narrow pathway as the harbor settled down, and carried that unhurried rhythm through the streets above the town. When stone steps meet the water, I hear those harbor bells again. Those harbor bells again. Blue towels dried beside the cove, while sunlight crossed the sand. You carried 2 cold bottles with sea salt on your hands. A wooden boat rocked near the steps, its paint worn smooth and pale. We sat beneath the canvas shade and listened to the sails The air felt clear around us, and every breath came slow. Down beside the cove that day, the water shone in green. You smiled across the table, the brightest I had seen. The shoreline curved beyond the rocks, the town lay far behind. We let the afternoon unfold with nowhere else in mind. Closed the bathing huts, then swept the wooden floor. Two children chased a striped red ball along the water's edge. You folded both the towels and placed them near my shoes. The breeze moved through the canvas roof and carried distant tunes. The day began to soften as shadows crossed the stone. Down beside the cove that day, the water shone in green. You smiled across the table, the brightest I had seen. We walked beyond the bathing huts as evening touched the bay. The rhythm of the shoreline came home with us that day. Blue towels by the cove, moving lightly in the air, moving lightly in the air. You placed the shells along the sill after we came back from the shore, and every curved and faded edge held something from the day before. The room was open to the breeze, the curtains barely moved. And from the street below us came the sound of passing shoes. Shells on the sill turned pale beneath the sun. Each one carried home a piece of where we'd been. I heard the distant surf inside their hollow lines, and watched your fingers place them side by side. what it said. The answers seemed to stay within the quiet way you held it before putting it away. Shells on the sill grew dim beneath the dusk. Each one held a trace of salt upon its edge. I heard the distant surf inside the room again, and watched your shadow move across the wall. After evening left the room near the window. Near the window. The promenade was waking, the shutters open near the square, and bicycles went passing with wildflowers tied behind them. You bought a folded sun hat from the woman by the steps, then wore it slightly sideways as we followed the balustrade. June bells along the promenade rang softly over town, while cafe tables filled the shade and striped flags fluttered down. You walked beside the railing with your sun hat in your hand, and every bell above the roofs seemed part of where we wandered. The painter faced the waterfront with colors resting by his shoes, and brushed a line of turquoise where the distant headland curved. You paused to watch him working as the hour moved toward noon, then chose a little painted card and tucked it in your pocket. June bells along the promenade rang softly over town, while cafe voices crossed the square and sea breeze moved the flags. We left the waterfront behind when shadows reached the stairs, with one small painted card between us and those bells above the town. When distant bells meet coastal air, I see your sun hat turn again. Your sun hat turn again. as morning opened over the bay. You rolled your sleeves and walked beside me, while small waves crossed the sand. The town behind us faded, and the air began to sing. Painted boats in June, drifting under blue, carrying the daylight far beyond our view. We walked beside the water and let the hours unfold, with salt upon our fingers and sunlight on the road. Cafe open near the harbor wall, and music crossed the tables. You raised your cup and smiled toward me as sails moved past the town. The breeze turned through the awnings, and every color came alive. Painted boats in June, drifting under blue, carrying the daylight far beyond our view. We left the shore behind us when evening reached the bay, but all that easy brightness kept traveling our way. When coastal mornings find me, I see those boats again. I see those boats again. We walked beyond the painted houses where the path came down to meet the shore, and carried our shoes beneath our arms while shallow water crossed our feet. You found a shell with amber lines and held it up against the afternoon, then laughed when I discovered one that curled like a tiny sleeping moon. The air grew wide around us, and every step felt easier than before. Seashells in our pockets moved together as we wandered by the sea, keeping all the color of the water and the laughter of that day with me. We followed where the shoreline bent and let the brighter weather lead us on, while every little wave arrived with music and returned beneath the sun. A vendor near the bathing huts was pouring lemonade into paper cups, and striped umbrellas turned above the tables whenever warmer breezes came. We rested near a row of boats with painted numbers fading at the sides, then and traded shells and made up stories of the distant places they had known. The afternoon kept changing, but neither of us watched the hour go by. Seashells in our pockets moved together as we wandered by the sea, keeping all the color of the water and the laughter of that day with me. We followed where the shoreline bent and let the brighter weather lead us on, while every little wave arrived with music and returned beneath the sun. We never planned to save that day or give it any grander meaning, but happiness can enter quietly and change the rhythm of an ordinary hour. Seashells in our pockets move again whenever coastal breezes reach the town, bringing back the painted boats, the paper cups, and sunlight pouring all around. I hear your laughter travel with the water as the open shoreline carries on, and feel that easy afternoon return without becoming something gone. When I find a shell along the sand, I turn it slowly in my hand and hear the sea again. I hear the sea again. Place the sea glass near the window where afternoon could pass through blue. The softened edges caught the daylight and scattered color through the room. One piece was pale as shallow water, another held a deeper green. You turned them slowly in your fingers, then chose the clearest one for me. Sea glass in the window colored everything nearby. A little piece of water held against the afternoon. You left it near the curtain where the changing daylight moved, and every shade across the wall became a part of you. Colors faded and shadows settled near the frame. You gathered up the smaller pieces, then placed them in a wooden tray. The clearest one remained beside me, catching traces from the street. It held no sound from distant water, but brought the shoreline close to me. Sea glass in the window colored everything nearby. A little piece of water held against afternoon. The room grew dim around it, but one quiet shade remained. And when the morning found the glass, the coast returned again. When colored light crosses the wall, I see your fingers turn the glass, turn the glass. Turn the glass. A vendor near the breakwater was shaving ice beneath a striped roof, and lemon peel lay curling beside the bottles on the counter. He chose the cup with fewer cherries and passed the wooden spoon to me, and watched the fishing launches move beyond the outer wall. Lemon ice near the breakwater melted slowly in our the boats beyond the railing crossed the darker water. You laughed when drops ran down my wrist and reached to catch the paper cup as afternoon moved calmly through the salt along the wall. The deckhand rolled a length of canvas near the steps below the tower, and bicycles passed behind us with their baskets full of flowers. We finished what was left between us and returned the spoons inside, then followed the curved walkway where the breakwater met town. Lemon ice near the breakwater left its sweetness on our hands, while the boats beyond the railing turned toward the inner channel. The paper cup was empty when the afternoon began to cool, but your laughter kept its flavor all the way along the wall. When lemon reaches summer air, I see that striped roof near the water. Near the water. near the water. We follow the pale blue railing where the path curved by the sea, and every breeze along the water moved your summer coat toward me. A row of boats beyond the garden leaned and settled with the tide, while footsteps from the upper village faded softly at our side. The air moved through the grasses and the afternoon began to sway. Along the pale blue rail we wandered, with the shoreline drawing near, and every little turn of water brought another color clear. You rested one hand on the railing as the boats moved out of view, and all the easy coastal rhythm seemed to travel there with you. We stopped beside a painted doorway where a woman swept the stone and heard a tune from somewhere higher drifting down between the homes. You listened with your head inclined until the melody grew faint, then smiled and carried on beside me, past the walls of chalk and paint. The breeze returned behind us, and the leaves began to move in time. Along the pale blue rail we wandered, while the evening crossed the sea, and every little coastal sound became a softer melody. You rested one hand on the railing as the harbor bells came through, and all the easy rhythm of the shore kept moving there with you. When blue railings meet the water, I can feel that pathway move again. That pathway move again. the shoreline, where the pathway met the stone, and flowering vines above it moved whenever breezes came. You rested both your hands there and watched the fishing boats, then turned to ask me whether we should walk a little farther. The lane curved past the cottages, and music drifted from below. Beyond the blue gate near the shore, the afternoon began to open, with water moving past the rocks and voices traveling from town. You walked beside the garden walls with salt along your sleeves, and every turn along the path gave us another stretch of sea. A woman folded striped umbrellas near a doorway painted cream, while someone carried empty crates toward the steps behind the houses. You stopped to watch a small boat cross the narrow outer channel, then tucked your hair behind your ear before we carried on. We spoke about the people who might live beyond those windows, and gave them names and stories as the roofs passed one by one. Beyond the blue gate near the shore, the evening gathered through the gardens, with water darkening by degrees and lamps appearing near the town. We followed back the winding path as flowers closed along the walls, and left the gate behind us, with the coastline in our steps. When painted gates face open water, I see that pathway turn again. That pathway turn again. That pathway turn again. We reached the beach near midday, when clouds had cleared away. Your footprints met the water, then vanished with the spray. A yellow scarf moved lightly against your summer dress. You turned to see me following, and waited near the steps. The shoreline stretched before us, with room enough to breathe. Footprints near the tide, appearing one by one. We walked where foam was shining beneath the open sun. You called me through the sea wind, I heard you clear and bright. The water reached our ankles, then slipped away from sight. Paper cone and shared the sugared almonds. The wooden pier cast shadows across the cooling shore. You brushed the sand from both my shoes, then started walking on. The afternoon grew deeper, the breeze became more mild. Footprints near the tide, appearing one by one. We walked where foam was shining beneath the lowering sun. The sea wind carried laughter beyond the curving bay. Our steps were gone by evening, the feeling chose to stay. When waves return across the sand, I see us walking there. I see us walking there. We left our sandals by the wall and stepped onto the cooler sand. The water moved around our feet while you walked close beside me. A row of houses faced the cove, with linen shades above the doors. You pointed toward a distant boat, then smiled before it turned away. The tide moved near the seawall and carried every sound along. Sandals by the seawall, waiting where we left them. The afternoon moved easily between the shore and town. Your hand brushed brush near my shoulder as we followed the water, and all the day grew richer without becoming loud. We stopped beneath a canvas roof and shared a glass of citrus water. A fishing net lay near the steps with silver drops along the cord. You gathered both our sandals and shook the sand onto the stones. We took the path above the cove as evening reached the lower roofs. Sandals by the seawall, resting in your hands. The shoreline curved behind us as the town drew close again. Your pace stayed near my shoulder through the turning lanes, and all that coastal color came walking home with us. When waves move near a seawall, I hear our footsteps once again. Our footsteps once again. Postcards stand beside the marina, turn slowly in the coastal air, and every painted little harbor seemed brighter than the town behind us. You chose a card with yellow houses and wrote the date along the edge, and held it up against the water to see which shade of blue came closer. The boats moved past the railing, and every bell rang clear. Postcards by the marina carried color through the day, with rooftops near the water and white boats in the bay. The back and left the rest for later, while sunlight crossed the tables and laughter filled the air. A waiter cleared the glasses as shadows moved beneath the awning, and someone tuned a small guitar near the steps beside the quay. You place the postcard in your bag between a map and folded paper, then took my arm as evening colors settled softly on the boats. Postcards by the Marina held the colors of that day, with rooftops near the water and white boats in the bay. Never saw what line you wrote or where you meant to send it, but every coastal afternoon brings that little card to mind. When postcard racks begin to turn, I see your handwriting again. Your handwriting again. Jetty stretched into the morning, where the fishing boats lay near. You walk beside the wooden railing, with the breeze around your hair. The harbor slowly brightened, and the bells began to ring. Morning along the jetty carried us toward the day, with sunlight on the water and laughter from the quay. We watched the boats awaken and ropes begin to sway, while all the open color kept drawing us away. The cafe raised its striped awning as the first cups met the tables. You turned and smiled across the railing when a ferry left the bay. The town came fully into view, and every roof began to glow. Morning along the jetty beside the beach was cool beneath the tiled roof, and rows of faded novels carried names we hardly knew. You chose a book with ocean maps pressed loosely through the pages, then wrote your name inside the card and dated it in June. A borrowed book beside the sea lay open on your knees, while salt moved through the reading room and stirred the index leaves. Read one passage twice to me, then marked the place with thread, and every word grew calmer in the rhythm of your voice. We carried it beyond the steps and found a bench above the dunes, where grass leaned toward the shoreline under clouds the color of cream. You closed the cover near the end and saved the final chapter, then said a story needed room to travel home with us. Beside the sea returned before the month was over, but one blue thread remained with me between the pages of another. I never learned the ending of the voyage drawn inside, but often hear your reading voice when coastal pages turn, when paper moves beneath the breeze. I see that book across your knees. Across your knees. Coral steps were warm beneath us when we came down toward the sea, and fishing nets beside the houses moved gently in the breeze. You carried bread inside a basket with a bottle wrapped in cloth, then found a place above the water where the stone was smooth and broad. The boats moved past below us and voices crossed the cove. Coral steps beside the sea held the afternoon around us with bread between our hands and salt upon the air. You leaned against my shoulder as the harbor moved below, and every passing ripple gave the day an easy flow. A woman closed the shutters on the house above the lane, while someone carried empty baskets past the boats and up the stairs. You saved a piece of bread for later and wrapped it in the cloth, then watched the coastal shadows stretch across the lower wall. The air became much cooler and bells rang from the town. Coral steps beside the sea held the evening close around us, with bread inside the basket and salt upon our clothes. We climbed the narrow pathway as the harbor settled down, and carried that unhurried rhythm through the streets above the town. When stone steps meet the water, I hear those harbor bells again. Those harbor bells again. Blue towels dried beside the cove, while sunlight crossed the sand. You carried 2 cold bottles with sea salt on your hands. A wooden boat rocked near the steps, its paint worn smooth and pale. We sat beneath the canvas shade and listened to the sails. The air felt clear around us, and every breath came slow. Down beside the cove that day, the water shone in green. You smiled across the table, the brightest I had seen. The shoreline curved beyond the rocks, the town lay far behind. We let the afternoon unfold with nowhere else in mind. children chased a striped red ball along the water's edge. You folded both the towels and placed them near my shoes. The breeze moved through the canvas roof and carried distant tunes. The day began to soften as shadows crossed the stone. Down beside the cove that day, the water shone in green. You smiled across the table, the brightest I had seen. We walked beyond the bathing huts as evening touched the bay. The rhythm of the shoreline came home with us that day. Blue towels by the cove, moving lightly in the air, moving lightly in the air. You placed the shells along the sill after we came back from the shore, and every curved and faded edge held something from the day before. The room was open to the breeze, the curtains barely moved. And from the street below us came the sound of passing shoes. Shells on the sill turned pale beneath the sun. Each one carried home a piece of where we'd been. I heard the distant surf inside their hollow lines, and watched your fingers place them side by side. And supper waited near. You lifted one against your ear and smiled at what you heard. I never asked you what it said. The answers seemed to stay within the quiet way you held it before putting it away. Shells on the sill grew dim beneath the dusk. Each one held a trace of salt watched your shadow move across the wall. The shells stayed near the window after evening left the room near the window. Near the window. The promenade was waking, the shutters open near the square, and bicycles went passing with wildflowers tied behind them. You bought a folded sun hat from the woman by the steps, then wore it slightly sideways as we followed the balustrade. June bells along the promenade rang softly over town, while cafe tables filled the shade and striped flags fluttered down. You walked beside the railing with your sun hat in your hand, and every bell above the roofs seemed part of where we wandered. A painter faced the waterfront with colors resting by his shoes, and brushed a line of turquoise where the distant headland curved. You paused to watch him working as the hour moved toward noon, then chose a little painted card and tucked it in your pocket. June bells along the promenade rang softly over town, while cafe voices crossed the square and sea breeze moved the flags. We left the waterfront behind when shadows reached the stairs, with one small painted card between us and those bells above the town. When distant bells meet coastal air, I see your sun hat turn again. Your sun hat turn again. Painted boats were resting near the shore as morning opened over the bay. You rolled your sleeves and walked beside me, while small waves crossed the sand. The town behind us faded, and the air began to sing. Painted boats in June, drifting under blue, carrying the daylight beside the water and let the hours unfold with salt upon our fingers and sunlight on the road. Cafe open near the harbor wall, and music crossed the tables. You raised your cup and smiled toward me as sails moved past the town. The breeze turned through the awnings and every color came alive. Painted boats in June, drifting under blue, carrying the daylight far beyond our view. We left the shore behind us when evening reached the bay, but all that easy brightness kept traveling our way. When coastal mornings find me, I see those boats again. I see those boats again. We walked beyond the painted houses where the path came down to meet the shore, and carried our shoes beneath our arms while shallow water crossed our feet. You found a shell with amber lines and held it up against the afternoon, then laughed when I discovered one that curled like a tiny sleeping moon. The air grew wide around us, and every step felt easier than before. Seashells in our pockets moved together as we wandered by the sea, keeping all the color of the water and the laughter of that day with me. We followed where the shoreline bent and let the brighter weather lead us on, while every little wave arrived with music and returned beneath the sun. A vendor near the bathing huts was pouring lemonade into paper cups, and striped umbrellas turned above the tables whenever warmer breezes came. We rested near a row of boats with painted numbers fading at the sides, then traded shells and made up stories of the distant places they had known. The afternoon kept changing, but neither of us watched the hour go by. Seashells in our pockets moved together as we wandered by the sea, keeping all the color of the water and the laughter of that day with me. We followed where the shoreline bent and let the brighter weather lead us on, while every little wave arrived with music and returned beneath the sun. or give it any grander meaning. But happiness can enter quietly and change the rhythm of an ordinary hour. Seashells in our pockets move again whenever coastal breezes reach the town, bringing back the painted boats, the paper cups, and sunlight pouring all around. I hear your laughter travel with the water as the open shoreline carries on, and feel that easy afternoon return without becoming something gone. When I find a shell along the sand, I turn it slowly in my hand and hear the sea again. I hear the sea again. Place the sea glass near the window where afternoon could pass through blue. The softened edges caught the daylight and scattered color through the room. One piece was pale as shallow water, another held a deeper green. Turn them slowly in your fingers, then chose the clearest one for me. Sea glass in the window colored everything nearby. A little piece of water held against the afternoon. You left it near the curtain, the changing daylight mood, and every shade across the wall became a part of you. The colors faded and shadows settled near the frame. You gathered up the smaller pieces, then placed them in a wooden tray. The clearest one remained beside me, catching traces from the street. It held no sound from distant water, but brought the shoreline close to me. Sea glass in the window colored everything nearby. A little piece of water held against the afternoon. Dim around it, but one quiet shade remained. And when the morning found the glass, the coast returned again. When colored light crosses the wall, I see your fingers turn the glass. Turn the glass, shaving ice beneath a striped roof, and lemon peel lay curling beside the bottles on the counter. You chose the cup with fewer cherries and passed the wooden spoon to me, and watched the fishing launches move beyond the outer wall. Lemon ice near the breakwater melted slowly in our hands, while the boats beyond the railing crossed the darker water. You laughed when drops ran down my wrist and reached to catch the paper cup as afternoon moved calmly through the salt along the wall. The deckhand rolled a length of canvas near the steps below the tower, and bicycles passed behind us with their baskets full of flowers. We finished what was left between us and returned the spoons inside, then followed the curved walkway where the breakwater met town. Lemon ice near the breakwater left its sweetness on our hands, while the boats beyond the railing turned toward the inner channel. The paper cup was empty when the afternoon began to cool, but your laughter kept its flavor all the way along the wall. When lemon reaches summer air, I see that striped roof near the water. Near the water. Near the water. We follow the pale blue railing where the path curved by the sea, and every breeze along the water moved your summer coat toward me. A row of boats beyond the garden leaned and settled with the tide, while footsteps from the upper village faded softly at our side. The air moved through the grasses and the afternoon began to sway. Along seem to travel there with you. We stop beside a painted doorway where a woman swept the stone and heard a tune from somewhere higher, drifting down between the homes. You listened with your head inclined until the melody grew faint, then smiled and carried on beside me, past the walls of chalk and paint. The breeze returned behind us, and the leaves began to move in time. Along the pale blue rail we wandered, while the evening crossed the sea, and every little coastal sound became a softer melody. You rested one hand on the railing as the harbor bells came through, and all the easy rhythm of the shore kept moving there with you. When blue railings meet the water, I can feel that pathway move again. That pathway move again. Blue gate faced the shoreline, where the pathway met the stone, and flowering vines above it moved whenever breezes came. You rested both your hands there and watch the fishing boats, then turn to ask me whether we should walk a little farther. The lane curved past the cottages, and music drifted from below. Beyond the blue gate near the shore, the afternoon began to open, with water moving past the rocks and voices traveling from town. You walked beside the garden walls with salt along your sleeves, and every turn along the path gave us another stretch of sea. A woman folded striped umbrellas near a doorway painted cream, while someone carried empty crates toward the steps behind the houses. He stopped to watch a small boat cross the narrow outer channel, then tucked your hair behind your ear before we carried on. We spoke about the people who might live beyond those windows, and gave them names and stories as the roofs passed one by one. Beyond the blue gate near the shore, the evening gathered through the gardens, with water darkening by degrees and lamps appearing near the town. We followed back the winding path as flowers closed along the walls, and left the gate behind us, with the coastline in our steps. When painted gates face open water, I see that pathway turn again.